Hello, darlings. You are welcome to Z Star Africa, your home of sizzling drama recaps. Today, we dive deep into Adidi's hatred as she frames Jhanak, and Anirudh's shocking move arresting Jhanak. Let's get into it. It all begins with Rishi asking Jhanak to say she loves him. Jhanak tells him that she feels for him more than love, and that she wants to run to him, forgetting everything. She asks him not to ask her again whether she loves him or not, because she cannot express her love in front of love itself. She tells Rishi to leave before anyone sees them together. Rishi tells her that her answer has given him happiness and that her words are changing his world. Jhanak asks him not to talk like this because his words make her heart weak. Rishi tells her that what they feel for each other is not wrong. Jhanak reminds him that he is now someone else's husband. Rishi says no one can snatch his right to love Jhanak. He compliments her. Jhanak says Aditi brought her there and she cannot betray Aditi. Rishi insists that they love each other and that this truth cannot be changed. Jhanak tells him to leave. The Saya song plays in the background. Aditi hears everything. Jhanak notices Aditi. Aditi pretends she did not hear anything and asks Jhanak to lock the room and give her the key, saying she left her jewels on the bed. Jhanak nods and leaves. Aditi also leaves. Jhanak goes to Aditi's room and sees Rishi's photo on the table. She says that even though she fights with him a lot, she has fallen for him more each day. She admits that she wants to run to him, forgetting everything, but she knows it is wrong. She then notices Aditi and Rishi's photo together. She says they look good together and decides that she cannot feel for Rishi anymore. She vows not to break Aditi's marriage, thinking that loving Rishi is wrong because he is now Aditi's husband. She locks the room and leaves. Sanjibadi asks Pudal about Jhanak. Pudal says she doesn't know. Sanjibadi searches for Jhanak. Pudal then sees Jhanak and asks where she went. Jhanak tells her she went to lock Aditi's room. Pudal wonders if Aditi is plotting something against Jhanak and warns her to be careful. Jhanak says she only helped Aditi and nothing else. Jhanak tells Pudal not to worry and asks why Pudal didn't invite her husband. Pudal asks why she should invite a cheater. Jhanak reminds her that Pudal once said her husband loved her and suggests there might be a misunderstanding. Pudal says her husband told her to leave him if she didn't trust him, and says she doesn't want to talk about him anymore. Jhanak says she believes Pudal's husband will return one day, and that Pudal still loves him. Pudal says love must be mutual, and that not everyone is like Dhritamon and Sanjibadi. Jhanak gives the key to Aditi. Aditi thanks her. Miss Tai tells her friends about Aditi's plan and says Jhanak will be proven a thief today. Her friends decide to stay and watch the drama. Miss Tai tells them to eat first and they leave. Elsewhere, Parashar and his gang eat at a dhaba. Lachan says he is ashamed of himself. Parashar says it's not safe to stay there for long. Lachan asks to use the washroom and leaves. Damu says Parashar shouldn't have forgiven Lachan. Veer asks why Parashar isn't eating. Parashar says he is missing Jhanak and that she would have been with him if they hadn't forced her to marry Rishi. Damu says they only followed village rules. Parashar scolds him. Veer suggests Parashar talk to Jhanak once. Lachan secretly informs the police that Parashar is at the dhaba. Later, Parashar says he is happy because he spoke to Jhanak and won't regret it even if he dies. He notices Lachan hasn't returned. Damu catches Lachan trying to escape. The police arrive. Veer throws a bomb and Parashar escapes with his gang. Rohini informs Ayush about Miss Tai and Aditi's plan. Ayush calls Jhanak, but she doesn't answer. Miss Tai tells Aditi that her friends are ready to watch the drama. Rishi tells Jhanak she is lucky for him and that because of her, Dhritamon returned. Jhanak says she did nothing and asks him not to talk like that. Rishi asks why she isn't talking properly. Jhanak says she wants a peaceful life. Rishi admits he is unhappy and says Jhanak is precious to him. Jhanak tells him to stay with the person who made him. Rishi says he feels empty. Jhanak tells him he should be happy because his brother returned and he has Aditi. Rishi says she knows he loves her, yet she insults him. Jhanak denies insulting him and says not everyone can express love openly. She asks how she can betray Aditi. Rishi admits he doesn't trust Aditi's intentions and warns Jhanak to be careful. Jhanak says Aditi insulted her in the past, but she must forget it to move on, and that she has a place to stay because of Aditi. Rishi says he worries about her. Jhanak asks who he is to worry about her and tells him to worry about his wife. She warns that people will misunderstand if they are seen together. Rishi asks why he can't talk to her. Janak says talking alone like this is wrong. Rishi asks if she loves him. Janak says she wants to scream and tell the world she loves him, that he is still her husband in her heart, and that she can't love anyone else, but she cannot say this aloud. Rishi holds her hand. Janak asks him to let her go. Miss Tai arrives with her friends and pretends they came to meet Janak before leaving. Rishi understands the cunning move. Miss Tai dismisses his suspicion and claims she isn't betraying the person who brought her into the house. Janak is shocked and leaves. Aditi calls Miss Tai to her room and asks if she hid the jewel in Janak's bag. Miss Tai nods. Aditi says the drama can begin now that the marriage is over. Elsewhere, Parashar screams in pain. Damu asks him to stay quiet. Parashar urges Damu to escape, saying his life will be ruined if he stays. Damu refuses. Parashar calls Janak using Damu's phone, pretending he just missed her. Janak asks him to take care and says she can't lose him. She cries, missing Newton and Parashar, recalling childhood memories. Parashar promises to stay with her always but worries how he can keep that promise. A senior officer scolds the inspector for letting Parashar escape and questions why Lachan was shot. The inspector says Lachan is receiving treatment. Pudal asks Sanjay Badi to stay the night. Sanjay Badi hesitates but agrees. Dhritamon insists on dropping her the next day. Later, Miss Tai asks Aditi if Janak saw the jewel box. Aditi announces the jewel is missing. Suspicion rises. Janak brings her bag to prove her innocence. Miss Tai checks it and the jewel falls out. Everyone is shocked, especially Janak. Janak swears she is innocent, some doubt her, while Rishi defends her. Aditi pretends to trust Janak and ends the matter, but tension remains. Later, Anirudh confronts Aditi privately, accusing her of losing an opportunity. Janak enters with sweets, is insulted again, and firmly defends herself, demanding a police investigation. She leaves. At Sanjay Badi's house, Dhritamon is confronted by her family. They refuse to accept him again. Dhritamon says he will wait for Sanjay Badi and hopes her family will forgive him someday. Finally, Rishi apologizes to Janak and reassures her of his trust. Janak reminds him he is a married man and asks him to focus on his life. Aditi interrupts, insisting on a police investigation. Janak says she will wait as Dhritamon's sister, not as a daughter-in-law. Rishi supports Janak and goes inside. See you in the next. Much love.